What is going on, everyone? How are you all doing? This is Yexit at Magna Crypto, back again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at Cosmos, one of our favorite cryptos, and also breaking down the market. So stick around and let's get this show on the road. So before we get started, if you have not already done so, like and subscribe to the channel. Would very much appreciate that. I'm very close to hitting a big milestone, so if you're getting value from this content, if you're getting some knowledge, do subscribe and like this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you want to learn the fundamentals of crypto, you want to learn the basics, TA, FA, link for my course is down in the description, and that's completely free. And also, if you want to join my private Telegram group where I give more regular TA charts, analysis, my thoughts, link for that is also in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. So it's going to be centered solely around Cosmos, one of my favorite picks. And reason being, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we read through this Twitter thread, is because it's such an undervalued crypto compared to its counterparts. It is a crypto ecosystem. You know, you've got the smart contracts built in, you've got many aspects of this cryptocurrency that allows for applications to be built on there. When you compare it to the competitors like Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, you know, it's very much, you know, close. It's almost even in a lot of sense, and better in a lot of senses as well. However, when you look at the value of it, Cosmos is valued a lot less than all of the above. And that's why I believe it's such an undervalued cryptocurrency, and I keep saying this every time. But after reading this Twitter thread, you'll start to understand that eventually it will catch up to the rest. So let's get straight into it. First and foremost, the ecosystem is valued over $100 billion, and that includes projects like Binance, Tether, and Thorchain. They're all based on the Cosmos ecosystem, and as he said, many overlook Cosmos due to misconceptions that value does not accrue to Atom. However, upcoming upgrades change the story, and Atom will be at the center of Cosmos ecosystem. So already we understand that the value will start to catch up. Now this is a very simple illustration of what's happening. Some very important upgrades. Some have been started already. So you've got the IBC transfers. This is what will allow value to be transferred from any crypto on the Cosmos blockchain from one to the other very easily, and any kind of data as well. So what is it? It unlocks cross-chain token transfers. The Cosmos Hub will be the primary facilitator of cross-chain communication. How will it drive value to Atom? Fee capture from cross-chain transactions. Staking is more attractive, and it is live. A couple of weeks ago it started. Now we have the Gravity DEX, which I've spoken about as well. What is it? It's a hybrid AMM order book exchange built on the Cosmos Hub. It will lock Atom in exchange, supply sync, liquidity providers and exchange fees, more on-chain activity, and fees for stakers. And the status is, I think it'll probably go live around the summertime. That's what the last thing I read about. So around summertime it'll probably be live. And we have another one which I have not spoken about, and that's shared security. And this is similar to what Polkadot have. The reason why Polkadot is a very interesting project, and why it's going to be very valuable, is because if you're a new project coming onto Polkadot, then you benefit straight away from having security from the other projects. They're able to so the thing is, if you have a new project, then there's not going to be that many validators on there to secure the network. It's going to be very easy to attack it, essentially. So with Polkadot, what they do is they essentially share the validators and things of that nature. Don't know the exact details of it, but essentially you won't be open for attack as if you were a new project. And that's what Cosmos are doing as well. So Cosmos Zone can source security from the Cosmos Hub by allowing hub stakers to delegate to multiple chains. And so how does it increase value? More rewards for each chain secured. Staking is more attractive supply sink, and this is in development. So let's go down a little bit more. So the bear thesis on Atom historically stemmed from the token's perceived lack of value accrual due to its limited use in just staking and governance. However, upgrades like IBC, Gravity Dex, and Shared Security Model will greatly enhance value capture. So kind of going over it again, if you hold Atom and you stake, you'll have more chance to actually increase the value of your staking rewards, and essentially it's going to increase the value of the Atom token. Now with the IBC upgrade, again, this is shown in the illustration. Atom stakers will have a proportional claim on the fees generated by the network for routing information and token across different zones. Again, this is mentioned in the illustration, but Cosmos is also working on implement shared security. Essentially, Cosmos Hub validators or Atom stakers will be able to secure multiple chains. So you get a new chain coming in, a new project, they can secure that chain and get extra rewards. So you can make potentially a lot of money from securing a lot of chains. So there's a lot of earning potential there that you may not have on other blockchains. And here he mentions it as well. The SSM is important. It's exactly what gets people excited by Polkadot, and it's worth 40+ billion. Moving on, the Cosmos ecosystem is comically undervalued relative to its peers, given its lively and growing ecosystem and increasingly strong value capture. I say this in every time I mention Cosmos, this is exactly what I mention. The fact that the ecosystem is so big, there's so many fantastic projects, great use cases, and they have communities that they're actually in production, and yet the Cosmos token Atom it's so undervalued. It doesn't make sense. But eventually the real value will catch up to the value that we see on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So it goes on. Polkadot hasn't even launched parachains, and that will happen in probably later this year. Still within testnet. Cardano is a ghost town. Others like Tron and Retain are jokes. ETH is valued at 290 billion. Cardano at 46, Dot at 40, and Atom at 5. Again, that doesn't really make sense, but when it comes to real value, you know, if you have something that's incredibly undervalued and it actually has real value, then eventually the price will catch up to the value. This is true in all of investing. Hence why in a bear market, when the value of or the price of a certain company goes crashing down, it ends up being undervalued, and eventually investors will look at the project and think, now this is cheap, this is a great investment, put money in, and eventually the price catches up to the actual value. So it's only inevitable for it to catch up, at least to, you know, kind of touching distance to the other crypto. It doesn't make sense for Atom to be 5 billion when Dot, which hasn't even launched, ADA hasn't even launched in terms of real production, and yet they're 8 times you know, as valuable in terms of price. It doesn't make sense, but it will catch up eventually. Here's another interesting thing, by the way. Paradigm is taking $350 million in Atom right now. Do you really think you're smarter than Paradigm? So Paradigm, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly who they are, but I'm assuming that they have some knowledge within the investing game. Otherwise, he would have mentioned this investment group. So they seem to be early to the game. They're getting ready to potentially reap from all the rewards that they'll be accruing down the line when everything is live. So that is the very, very interesting Twitter thread by Daniel Chung, and it just shows that the price of Atom tokens will catch up to its value eventually, and the value is very clear in front of our faces. The IBC the fact that you're going to be able to get more rewards in staking, the security model that's coming live soon, and then you've got the gravity DEX, which will allow for tokens to be swapped in a decentralized manner. So the information is out there. I just want to put this forward to you if you haven't seen this already. I think it's very, very interesting and makes a lot of sense. So with that out of the way, let's now move to breaking down some tokens. I got this from a member's request. He asked for me to break this down. So let's have a quick look at Ampleforth. I believe this Ampleforth is a rebasing protocol. So this is the governance token. So it looks like it hasn't been out for too long. But what we can already tell is it hasn't found the bottom just yet. Now we have a reverse from this level of around $33. Potentially it could be the bottom, but already we can see there was a lot of selling pressure going on over here, pushed it all the way back down. So what we need to see on the bullish case scenario is, of course, in the next few days for us to break this little resistance level and then continue to test the top right here. But what could potentially happen is as it carries on throughout the days, it could turn this into a double bottom, and you could have just a double test over here, and then it complete that W pattern for it to carry on. But there isn't a lot of data to go by, unfortunately. Let's see if there is actually a pair with more data. Okay, no, that's the biggest one. So there isn't a lot of data to go by. It's very early days. It's only been out for about 5 days, so there needs to be more data to actually for us to analyze it. There's essentially is an incomplete picture is what I'm trying to say. So next we have SNX Synthetics Network. So I broke this down maybe a couple of weeks ago. Probably a couple of weeks ago, as I already had analyzed it. So this still looks like it's somewhat in a corrective phase. You can see this elongated downwards channel. However, now that it's corrected for quite a while, it looks like it's probably gonna basically finish this correction and go back on the uptrend. Now, of course, what we need to see is for it to break down or to break through this counter trend line and potentially retest it. That would be the confirmation that we want to see before we can essentially say it's back on the uptrend. So once it does that, then it will be back on attack mode. So once we get that, it's going to be most likely it's going to be quite a strong uptrend. As you can see, it corrected from beginning of February all the way to now, which is very healthy to see, especially for a good project like Synthetics Network. You want to see a correction like this for it to carry on going higher. So this was a nice 100% correction, or a rally, sorry. Potentially it could be like a measured move up. If that was the case, then let's say it broke out from this level, from about $17, then maybe we could see upwards of $30+, 30 to 40, but definitely a stab at previous all-time high at $20 to $30. So yeah, so I'd say the end of this correction is probably near, but we need to wait for confirmation, break through that counter trend line before we can say it's back on the uptrend. A quick look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So during the last end of week market breakdown, it was looking very, very peak. It was looking quite dire at this point, but a strong reaction in the last few days from Bitcoin, which is very encouraging to see. However, I'm still a little bit cautious. There is some major resistance up ahead at around $56,000. Once it gets past there, then I think it'll be in the clear and the uptrend will start. But until that happens, there's still a chance that this correction gets slapped back down from this overhead resistance right here. So just watch out for that. Ethereum is looking very lovely. Even here you can see a little double bottom formation right here, a retest potentially of the resistance at 2500, is looking prime to basically smash past this all-time high of 2600 and go towards 2800, which is double the previous all-time high. So Ethereum is looking very, very good to carry on. I think this might just be the beginning of a strong uptrend for Ethereum going forward next few days, next few weeks perhaps. So very bullish on Ethereum. Quick look at ETH BTC. Also, it got rejected initially from this overhead resistance on the ETH BTC pairing, but if it smashes past this resistance, then most definitely we're going to see a nice rally towards this next resistance level, which will probably mean, as you saw from the ETH chart, ETH is going to explode in value to 2800, maybe even further than that. So it's looking very, very nice. So that'll be all for this video. Hopefully you got some value from that, and see you in the next one. Peace.